like kind of like dressed, like like really like hair flowing and everything. He's like freaking husbando mode, and like people, all the other people start evacuating and the heck out. And now that's where I left off what I read. Now, this is where I'm wondering if how this part of the story continues on, because right now after that part he gets tired out and he gets associated with a group and starts fighting with them, either kingdom or rebel or whatever. I think maybe the kingdom actually takes in the rebel force and they actually start to work together. I think it's from this moment on. I think that's how I'll do it. So they give him like a base and everything. Because it would make sense, like, because I had this whole travel over to like a sand of sea, a sea of sand, basically. And yeah, there's a Dune reference. There's worms. Yeah, the big worms are there, and I have this all the shit in my head, and that's where I leave off. That's where I leave off. But I have like all these scenes in my head. I know how it ends. It ends really kind of like basically stopping the evil dude from causing a singularity and to make everything into a black hole of nothingness. While the main character is an entity of light, kicks into everything in the universe, breaks through the black hole to reach the other side, pulls energies, pulls out, and just becomes, well, the same level as God, and then just sacrifices his energy to create universes. And then, yeah, you get all the anime universes and stuff like that. And then you have, like, the universe everyone's in. And there's kind of like, that's my dream kind of thing that keeps on going in my head on repeat. That's what it is. I'm going to check the VOD to see if the sound recorded. And if it did, I'll export it. Because it's really, really, really kind of like my own personal journey, my own personal imagination, and my own, like, oh shit, these bridges are freaking scary, kind of like, they're short but scary as fuck. Like old canyon. But, it's kind of it's always been a part of me. I don't know if I'll ever get anything done with it, but that's where I just want people to know about it. Ugh. It is, let's say, oh, what's the story name? Besides Xenogene? Or Project Xenogene? I came with the name God's Apprentice. And then, one other thing I was going to say, Xenogene Chronicles. But, you could put God's Apprentice, the Xenogene Chronicles. I guess you could put it in one name, which is such a long title. But if you do it in Japanese, it'll probably look cool. That's pretty much it. I feel like I should, you know what? 3 hours of talking about it. I'm gonna Man, but I need to stop and export this ASAP. Alright. I don't know where the next rest stop is. Super big version of like of the Akuma's Viral gun, right? Why did you do that? They're gonna blow up a freaking the colonies and shit in the sky. They want to take them all out so they don't have any. They can't attack. He's the point is that he's waiting to get fired upon. Why? Because it creates the energy form of Akiko. And he's getting fired upon, fired upon. And the person that's ahead of this thing hates this guy because he's always ruined everything. I think he's the same person from the first time they fought. Maybe that could have that link. Yeah, that thing, like the final thing happens between them, and you just keep firing at him, keep firing at him, and just like bits and pieces of pink energy just comes off, and like they're seeing this from the ship, and like and you buy some one of the other characters, a blonde scientist. Yeah, of course, there's always a blonde anime scientist. You have to have it. I got that. It's like, oh god, it's like, what's going on? It's like, it's her. What do you mean it's her? He's he's mean, better hold on to your butts. Like, this is a scientist that's been researching this tech for the longest time. Like, it's been her this entire time. What do you mean it's her this entire time? Kiko Synergy. And just rings it up on the screen, and you see the visual form of Akiko for the first time. Pink hair, turquoise eyes, body shape, and everything. And then you see the energy form, like, starting to come about on the screen. And they're like viewing it. The scientists and her are viewing it from the screen, like he's getting to become pure energy. Like, but you don't see that part of it yet. Like, you see the screen, like you see that part, like, but you don't see it as that image yet. You see this pink thing just becoming almost like kind of like a fireball heading down, and it's like this guy's like keep firing at it, like keep firing at him, kill him, destroy him. It's like, what is this? And it's like, no, the captain of one of the captains on the evil side ship is like, no, this is just like before. That's one of the, I guess you could call it the Atomic Girls or something. It's like, who is that? No, everyone, evacuate the ship. Only me and so leaves behind. Aw, A Squad, we miss you. Come back home. Aw, thank you. Well, I'm in New Mexico now. I'm coming down to Colorado. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. No, man, I was just describing as part of the story, and then I was gonna like just send it to YouTube. Aw, thank you, Ace. I appreciate that. Come back home. Come back home where? Aw, where do you want me to come back home to? Alright, let me. I guess I can end it right there. So this is. So at this point, they're about to fire this energy cannon. Now I don't know if you caught on in, but I've been explaining like one last scene of my book, my story, myself, how my character actually emerges in the female form. I don't know if you're still interested in hearing this one last part, because I was gonna do that and just like, because I just went over my entire story, um, how it went out, and I can go over it again, but it's a long ride. If you guys are interested, but I appreciate it. Ace Squad. Oh, but come back home where? I'm in New Mexico. Can you hear me well? No, all right. All right. Well, hey, this is Rock the Kuma. Oh, you had to hit me. You had to hit me with that one. That's where I'm trying to find home. Home is where the heart is. I'm actually spelling out my heart right now. Okay. Well, the story, I guess, God's Apprentice, Xyojin Chronicles. I was explaining this one last part. Oh, thank you so much for coming in. This is Rakta Kuma. I am traveling to find where my heart belongs, where my home is. I am currently running on $69, a full tank of gas, and I am heading towards Colorado to meet with a fellow moderator, Wolf Cannon, and we are currently in New Mexico at a rest stop. I was about to finish this part of my a major scene in my my book, basically, my visual novel, it's actually something that's very, um, actually quite to my heart too, because it's actually myself in it. Right here, it's kind of the part it's about is the transforming, the transforming of the male into the full female form, and that is kind of who I am. Always been since I was 10, and I've just been traveling. I don't want to just jump in. I am doing great, thank you. Well, I am holding in there, thank you. Um, I just kept myself cheerful, going over the beginnings of the story of basically my dream was to break my body cell by cell, and this is the beginning of the story how this character came about Akiko, which is kind of my reference, um, and to reform into a woman. And that was one of my big things because I still self identify as myself as one, but I am in a male body. But this story is got to deal with that science fiction where there is a relation between autonomous mechanical beings and organic beings. So what happened is centuries ago, an experiment was used, and the character is supposed to be me initially. Body was disintegrated cell by cell. Mind was taken out. Every single memory was used to reprogram the cell using an AI. It was to host an AI, an artificial self-aware, a self-aware artificial intelligence, to give it a body. And there is a whole pre-story to that, where the body was created. It came out male initially, but there was this whole time period where it became female, had a lot of energy and a lifespan. And thank you for the follow. If I butcher your name, sorry, Cartel 73. Thank you for the follow. So the story is that that experiment had a limited lifespan. It had to redo the experiment over thousands and thousands of years. And this part I was describing happens around 10,000 years in the future, where this is the fourth of a fourth book of four books basically of a series where when that event happened. Oh, yeah, that's a family there. It's mean to look. I mean, she's taken, okay? She's taken. And pretty much the mind had to be kept alive. The first book is deals with the body, the mind, the energy was put into this huge robot, Unit 00. It was actually leader of a robot revolution, but it was the human mind, the same mind, because we all fear about the robot revolution, right? So it was known as Akuma on the battlefield because it was a devil on the battlefield. They won, made a constitution, everyone was equal. So the whole idea between that experiment to show a relation of equal rights between robots and humans didn't really need to kind of come about. So that was the first book, which each of them end with the main character saving the planet and sacrificing itself. So long story short, that robot's ability can become a huge rail cannon. I mean, I was very descriptive in the VOD. Literally gives all its energy. Gigantic rail cannon. Because people were pissed that it was such a goody two shoes, I guess. And the people that really just wanted some humans and evil robots send a freaking planet comet down to the planet, wanted to destroy Earth, sacrifices everything, radiates the land, huge amount of land from its cannon fire, sacrifices his body, leaving it. It's known as the let's say Akuma's. the grave, the Akuma's grave, or something like that. That's the end of the first book. But the energy that came out is transfers to the next body, and without getting too bored and detailed, I went over how remnants of so much energy went to these other energy beings that are like little animals. And then I go over two, then I go over book three. Book three is a whole demonic spirit thing where it's like devil comes out of the ground, everyone in space colonies leave, and the fourth book is all that. So what I was going to do was I was about to end the stream because I went over everything, but I'm doing good. I am traveling all the way to uh, Colorado right now. Yeah, basically trying to get there. I stopped here just to try to get this story to keep it going, and so I wanted to discuss this one last scene and my mojo for the scene. To explain the scene is a little bit weird without the context, but the character is pretty much this science fiction project that is this energy being that is literally a male that its ultimate form is female. And why is that? Its female form utilizes cannons, can punch like and kick as a badass, and literally has an energy form which is pretty much about the power of the sun. And this is where it comes into play. This scene right here. When you're coming in, I was saying that the ship, Aya's ship, which is which is a relative of the main character, ancient relative. Like, oh, it seems that everyone's pulling off. I can start driving again. Actually, is they're in a battle. Huge railgun technology. They're about to blow up a space colony. The evil group in the story. I'm trying to catch up. Yada yada yada. Um, so basically, you have the character talks to the ship. The ship's voiced, by the way, Samuel L. Jackson, by the way. Um, comes to the ship. They angle the ship. Then so the bay doors open up in the back. By the way, the ship can transform itself to actually have bay doors, even if it didn't have it initially. So Aya's like, what the hell's going on? Runs to the back, sees Akira. Now remember, here's the male form, and he's standing there about to fall off, about to fall down. Turns around, and and this is technology, she has gravity boots on. She runs up and be like, don't be doing this. What are you doing? And it's just like, puts the hands on the face like this, but the face of the green spirit she sees again. And then once this green spirit is actually true to my personality, is the healing, caring part, because that is actually a very one of the powers that there's another part of that I explained in that, and she gets shocked, and then he just falls backwards, falls right into it. Now he's just blasting people, freaking ships and cannons along the way, free falling into this huge railgun thing that's about to freaking blast, this huge cannon blast right through the ship and everything to destroy a planet. Why is he doing this? And he's getting shot up at, and each time he's getting shot up, Pink starts glowing. And he's absorbing every single hit. He's changing. He's changing consistently. And so Aya is just like running back and sees this, the scientist is another character which I haven't talked about. And she's in shock. Yes, blonde hair, anime scientist, stereotypical, I know. It's like, it can't be. It's her. What do you mean it's her? And then I wanted to kind of not hold that off as a surprise, but She says it's a it's a Kikosinogen, and you see its pink hair, blue, turquoise eyes, and basically kind of like my mascot. It's kind of who I feel and am. But here's the trick, though. She's flowing down. Now it's like almost like a pink energy comet flowing down towards this thing, and it's just being belittled by bullets and stuff. And you have this captain of one of the ships firing at it, sees it. It's like this can't. That sight. It's one of. I guess you could call it. We'll call it short Atomic Girls. There's. I guess you like in Sonic the Hedgehog, you have the Chaos Emeralds, which I borrow from that. While the experiment was in its state, which I was telling you about earlier, it had so much energy that it took actually personalities of said me, right? And made it into different actual emeralds that actually developed into their own people. They were found, they were used. They were used in a way where they can. It was used and abused. It was actually. It's a very, very like. I would be very like saying of a story about how people are being abused and used for their ways. It's kind of like torture. It was kind of torture, but not like torture, but like they were used over and over till their entire life force. They went back into being a crystal. Like one purple was strength; it was be like a nuke. Green would heal the troops. Um, this would happen in a war in the second book, by the way. Um, Yellow would be an Undertale reference, like, "Oh, our troops are dead." Yellow would come down, bam, not like anything happened. Restart. Yes, that's one of the powers too. So all all these things are like related in some way to the main character. So while it's flowing down, at this point, she's in this huge energy flow. Oh shit! And then it's glowing so much. And like I was saying before, I'm sorry I got off tangent, but here we go. Now I can end the stream and say this part. The guy that's had so many issues with this Akira guy, ruining so many things, sets the cannon to blast, and that energy just shoots straight up. Kiku absorbs it all, creates a shield, and wings, angelic wings, three per side, come out surrounding the area. It's just like almost kind of like Evangelion, like, and fully energized, takes up all this energy and just becomes so much power, absorbs it and inverts it, and just flies right down, right into all this, and creates an implosion right in the middle of everything. And you see everything imploding, and all the different colored versions of her. You don't see her body yet from the pink form, but this is what they are from those jewels. Protect all the good people and keep a shield to make sure they don't get absorbed. Well, everyone else gets absorbed and everything like that, and a huge explosion happens. And this shit's been in my head for so long in my life. And that is the other last scene. So I'm gonna cut the stream there. Sorry, I'm kind of glad y'all kind of jumped ship there. I love you all. Thank you for the follow. I'll resume the stream in a bit, but I'm gonna stop this, export this shit, and this is something so I can remember my story by. All right, love you guys.